So tomorrow is the presidential election, and coupled with the pandemic, it's causing a whole lot of anxiety, and it's causing it to reach an all-time high in a lot of us. Well, one New Jersey teen found a way to channel his anxiety into a wearable art, but unfortunately, he didn't live to see the impact of his creations. But now his parents, they're carrying on his legacy and sharing it with us. So we're joined now this morning by his parents, David Nathan and Brandy Harrison, to talk to us about Happy Jack, their son, Jack Nathan. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Hi, Betty. How are you?
Hi, nice to see you. Okay, so let's talk, Brandy, about your son, Jack Nathan. He's just 19 years old when he launched Happy Jack merchandise. What inspired him to create this line? And tell us a little bit about your son.
Sure. I know this sounds cliche, but to know Jack was to love him dearly. He was always entrepreneurial in spirit, and if you combine that with his,
you know what, he's so lovable, Brandy, that even the dog hears his name and starts barking.
I mean,
right?
We think he's in our dog someday. So there you go. He's done.
You know, he eased his anxiety through his art and design, and that's where sort of his mind stopped reeling and where he found peace.
Yes.
And he came to me one day and he said, you know, Mom, if I could just help one other person not to feel the way I feel, it will all be worth it at the end of the day. And from there, he launched his website over quarantine. All the friends were in the basement. Everyone was helping him stuff and pack items. And he launched on June 7th. And sadly left us on July 3rd.
I know the pain and the hurt is still very raw and it's still very real. I can see it in your face and I can hear it in your voice. Let me talk to you, David.
Yep.
Following his death, his unexpected death, it was tragic, just as Brandy said, just shy of his 20th birthday. What is one of the common misconceptions about his death that people often make? Because they obviously wonder, you know, this is a bright young man who had, of course, anxiety, but he channeled that and then he was taken from us so quickly.
Yeah, I think the biggest stigma attached to it is that mental health is a death sentence, which it's not. And, you know, Jack was a survivor, never a victim, and he led the charge. And I think that, you know, his mission and his message was more of that it's okay to not be okay. And to be out there and talk about it and be on the front lines and let people know that there are issues out there and not be afraid to talk about them.
And that's so powerful at such a young age to be able to do that and dealing with it as well. In the midst of your grief, Brandy, you both decided to keep his business up and running. What prompted you to do that, and how are you doing that?
Well, I have to say that it's been therapy for both of us in terms of continuing his mission. Without it, I don't know, some days that we could get out of bed. But there was never a thought, should we not do it? We would have done anything for Jack while he was here, and we will certainly do anything for him while he's not here physically as well. I have had my own bouts of anxiety and depression. I know what it feels like. I think we'd all be lying if we said we were always happy 100% of the time. So look, he's a product of David and I, and we will forever try and help anyone to not feel, like I said earlier, the way he felt even for a moment.
Well, it is a beautiful message, Happy Jack, and what you two are doing to keep his memory alive. Now, David, you were able to get a lot of ambassadors from across the country to really support this. Tell us what that means to become a Happy Jack ambassador.
Well, first off, it's the first line is you got to be friends with Jack, or you have to have known and believe in the mission. We have about 47 or 48 now ambassadors across the entire country. A few of them at, a couple at the same school, but their mission and their message is exactly what ours is yes, it's about selling product and getting it out there, but more importantly, it's about the message and it's about helping others. And that's why we partnered with, Active Minds and the Child Mind Institute. Active Minds is very present on a lot of college campuses. Mm-hmm. And so all these ambassadors are a part of that as well. And they're passing the message on, to kids who suffer on college campuses. And it's, this is our next generation. These are kids that are coming up. and really, are struggling at times to get by, and especially in today's world.
Yeah, in this pandemic,
so,
for
so
sure.
the message is really important.
It absolutely is, and you've gotten a lot of celebrities behind you supporting cause. Enrique Iglesias, one of them. Quickly, I know you got a new website that's launching. How can people support this and get their hands on something that will brighten their lives just a little bit?
Sure. The website is called Happy Jack's World, and it very much is Happy Jack's World. But just to add to what David said about the brand ambassadors, we couldn't do it without them. So we are forever grateful for these kids. And I don't want anyone to ever underestimate the power of teenagers.
Yeah, and Betty, we're going to, for the next 24 hours or so, we're going to, anybody that is a Pix11 fan and goes on with your code Pix11 will receive 10% off of any purchase that they make. We now have beanies that are up that we started for the winter and fall, because I know your weather guy said it was so cold. And we brought back a couple things, the camo hat that I'm wearing that everybody loves so much, and then 2 other T-shirts. Jack's whole philosophy was one and done, and but we just felt very strongly about bringing a couple things back, especially for you guys and giving your viewers the opportunity.
Well, thank you very much for that. And a lot of these on your website are limited editions, but most importantly, it's the message, and it's that proceeds go to a very good cause as well. So thank you both for sharing your story, sharing your son with us. Our hearts go out to you and your family, and best of luck.
Thank you very much, Betty.
Absolutely.